I'm Sarah Renee Clark and I'm here with another budget coloured pencil review, and today I'm comparing two brands that many people say are exactly the same, Markart and Nyoni coloured pencils. So my goal today is to find out first, are these actually the same? Well, yes and no. And second, are these a decent budget coloured pencil or just another pretty prop to add to my wall? I've reviewed quite a number of pencils already on my channel, including some of the best pencils in the world and the best budget alternatives. So it's about time I put them all in a handy playlist. And so if you're looking for a set of colored pencils, chances are you'll find something useful in the list that I have put together here for you. And if not, let me know what pencils you'd like to know more about. Press that subscribe button and you might just see them in a future video. So let's jump right in and look at these boxes. So right away, there are some clear signs that these boxes have come from the same factory. The box itself and the print process are very similar, and these words, what is the translation of this? Oh, look at that. Oh, I didn't know it changed it on the screen. Whoa! Did you see what that said? It's like very suspicious of these pencils. What's this one say? What? I swear this didn't say this the first time we tried doing this. I think my translation app is struggling a little bit here. Oily color lead. I think that's probably a bit more of an accurate translation than what we had before. What do we think? Oil-based lead, masculine super. Okay, we're gonna stick with oily colored lead, and this one should be the same. Oh no. Oh, this is bad. Well, we did say this was an adult colouring channel. What do we got here? Nyoni, in the direction of your shadow, your figure in your direction. Shadow, the direction of drinking arts. The new direction of your art. The new direction of your art. That's probably a novel artistic, this thing can't make up its mind. This video took a very interesting turn very quickly. Sorry, guys. Okay, so moving on. The point is both companies are offering the same product, whatever that product is. The actual pencil tins are also very similar, even though I've ordered two different sized sets here. And in hindsight, I probably should have ordered the same size set to compare these properly. So that's my bad. The picture on the back is the same, although the rest of the information is different. I think the Markart is clearly targeted more at an English-speaking audience, although I'm not sure how many astists I personally know. The similarities continue on the inside of the box with the protective plastic slip and the same wording on both cases, and then there's the pencils themselves. So the pencils are a perfect match, even using the same numbers. The only difference is the actual design printed on the pencil itself. So if you had any doubts that these were from the same factory, I think we can definitely say that they are. Now, this is not a criticism at all. This is just white labeling. As a consumer, it is important to recognize when you might be buying the same set of pencils under a different brand so you don't end up buying the same product twice. I've talked about this in more depth in my previous video about the Brut Funa colored pencils that I'll link to in the description below. For now, let's see if this comparison stops here or if these pencils are in fact identical. Before we compare these colors or test them out, I'm just rearranging them to follow the color wheel so both sets are in the same order, and I'll sharpen each pencil to a better point. Although most pencils come pre-sharpened like this, these factory points are not always a good representation of how a pencil performs. Sometimes they can have a coating on them or they can be a bit scratchy to use. I always get better results when I use my own sharpener, and today I'm testing out the Koh-i-Noor sharpener that I'll be including in my sharpener comparison video very soon. So these pencils do feel really nice to hold. Their presentation, size, and their shape reminds me a lot of the Faber-Castell Polychromos or the Arteza pencils. I am very interested to see how they perform today. I've got the sets of 48 and 36 here, but the Markart and Nyoni pencils both come in a set of 120 colors, and the larger set seems to include a large range of pastel colors, so these would have been a good inclusion in my Holbein Alternatives video a few weeks ago. So look, at a first impression, these are a lot nicer than I expected. They feel a bit drier than other budget brands, maybe not as waxy, but they are quite crumbly. But that actually makes it feel a little bit nicer to use. There's not that oily or waxy buildup that a lot of cheap brands have. It'll be interesting to see how they go when I actually start layering and blending though, because obviously this is just an initial swatch. In my swatching, the colours from both sets appear to be identical, except for one colour I've found in this set that has changed very slightly. What's interesting is that the barrel colours have changed quite a lot. It appears to me that the Markart team have carefully re-evaluated all the pencil colours and had the barrels changed to match the pencils more accurately, which is something I wish all pencil brands would do. So when it comes to matching the colours, the Markart barrels are almost an exact match for the colour of the core itself, meaning you can just pick up a colour and just go for it without having to refer to your swatches or test your pencils every time. Most of the Nyoni pencils are close, but a few pencils are way off, which I've found to be the case with many brands and not just the cheapest brands I've bought. This is actually a huge win for the Markart pencils at this point, and it might just be the deciding factor between these two seemingly identical sets. To really put these pencils to the test, I'm using them together on this colouring page from my Confessions of a Colouring Addict colouring book you can find on Amazon or print from my website. In fact, I've included a free download of this page for you on my blog if you'd like to colour this for yourself. I've chosen this colour palette from the colour catalogue with the help from the wonderful viewers on my first ever live stream that we filmed earlier in the week. You can still find it on my channel if you'd like to watch me talk through my process of starting this colouring page, choosing my colours and colouring in real time for the first section. I will be doing more live streams in the future, so please subscribe and turn on your notifications if you'd like to join me live next time. The Markart and Nyoni pencils are an oil-dominant pencil, which is similar to many of the budget pencils that have been showing up in the market lately. All pencils still have a mix of wax, oil and other binders, so don't get too caught up in the official marketing of these descriptions of pencils and what this means. Just because a company says a pencil is oily lead doesn't mean it is going to work like a Faber-Castell Polychromos pencil. In fact, when I reviewed the Brut Funa square coloured pencils, they were also marketed as oily coloured pencils. And personally, I found they blended together like I would expect from a wax dominant pencil. In comparison, these pencils are more like what I would traditionally expect from an oil-based lead. They don't blend quite as easily, but that doesn't mean you can't create beautiful gradients. It just takes a different technique. So work in lots of light layers, overlap your colours, and keep your pencils sharp. If you do want to see me colour these words in real time, head to the stream I mentioned earlier. I'll pop a link in the description below so you can watch it at your own pace. As I start on this background, I want to create a bit of a bokeh effect instead of just colouring everything in black. So I'm creating a gradient from my central light to the black in a circle. Again, just working in light layers and overlapping my colours. I'll do the same with my yellow and scatter these circles around my page in different sizes. The key to this is to keep my layers light so these transitions from light colours to the black is smooth. As I've been colouring, I haven't had any breakage due to sharpening, but a few of my Nyoni pencils seem to break along the core, so I think these might have been damage in transit. Otherwise, both sets of pencils are easy to sharpen and hold that sharp point really well, so these are great for fine details and don't break often unless they've been dropped like it seems my set here probably has. I've been switching between sets throughout this page and I'm not noticing any difference between the pencils. I'm pretty confident that they are identical in their performance. So in my case, I've now got two sets of essentially the same pencil here. And I'm kind of wishing I bought the 120 set now that I know how nice these are and have seen the great range of colours the larger set has. I didn't expect to like a budget set of pencils as much as I'm liking these. I haven't decided if I like these more or less than my Brut Funa. It's close. Both brands are slightly different and both are great for the price. I do like the round feel of these pencils in my hand slightly more than the square. Maybe it's because they remind me of the Polychromos pencil, I'm not really sure. The biggest difference is that the Brute Funa are slightly waxier and a little bit easier to blend. These act more like a traditional oil-based pencil and require that layering to blend between the colors. When I'm happy with everything, I can start burnishing by using a harder pressure on my final layer. I'm still working back and forth between colors, but trying to remove any extra white from the page as I go. And instead of adding any more pencil, I'm just going to finish this off with some solvent or blending solution to blend out these final colors and hide these final white gaps. I feel that if I add any more pencil, I'm just going to create an unwanted layer of oily or even waxy texture on top, and I'll waste my pencils. I've done a full video comparing different options for this, but today I'm using an alcohol marker, simply because it was here in my drawer, so it was the easiest option to find in the moment. This is optional, and I don't often use solvents or blending tools, but it does help in a situation like this. It's time to finish up the rest of this page, which, by the way, you can download to try this for yourself for free on my blog, along with a written version of this review and links to buy the Markart and Nyoni pencils if you're wanting to try them for yourself. While you're there, you can also check out my range of other printable colouring books, free colouring pages, and the colour catalogues I was using earlier. In my opinion, the Markart are comparable to Arteza and Brute Funa. Personally, I don't love them as much as my Prismacolor because my Prismacolor blends extremely well. But I know the breakage of Prismacolor pencils is a deal breaker for many people, so if you're looking for something firmer, this might be it. I would happily recommend these for beginners or for colouring pages or for hobby artists, just not for professional or commercial art, because like any budget brand, these aren't light fast, so the colour won't last for years like your high-end art supplies that I recommend for professional artists or anything that you're intending to sell. So after all of this, I would say that these pencils perform the same. If you own one set already, there is no need to buy the other. But if you're looking to buy a set and both are a similar price, personally, I would choose the Markart over the Nyoni. My main reason for this is the color of the barrels. The fact that these are more accurate to the color of the actual pencil core makes it so much easier to choose a color when you are coloring, and it removes the need to create your own swatches. In comparing these with other budget sets, I think that this accurate barrel color makes these one of the better budget sets that I've tried. The performance comes down mostly to preference, so some people may prefer these to the Brute Funa, but other people might find the Brute Funa easier to use because they are a bit waxier and easier to blend. These are not artist quality, but they're also not artist price. Whether you need another set of pencils, I'll leave that decision up to you. For now, don't go anywhere. I have another video right here that I hope you'll enjoy, and one here that YouTube thinks you'll like, so choose wisely.